Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our story quest playthrough using the X-Men DLC characters. In the last episode, we made it out of the Dark Dimension, and we are currently here at the capital city of it, the Inhumans, in Attilan. So let's go ahead and talk with Medusa and see what we can do to lend a hand, because they're not super fond of us at this point in time. Alright, and we've got some sabotage going on. Of course, you're already familiar with that to a certain point, but we'll want to go ahead and knock out any of these grunts that have cropped up. And the nice thing about the grunts that don't have the stagger is you can knock them off the side with some of your standard attacks, and that really helps you get through these fights quite a bit quicker than you otherwise would. Nice man, put in a good amount of work there. Let's use another falling ice shard here. We've got a couple of these grunts frozen down, which is always good. And now it's just a matter of finishing this guy in the corner, and that's all she wrote. Alright, well, Gorgon's in a bit of a tough situation here. We'll want to leave this medical staff to tend to him. So let's go ahead and further the plot by having a chat with Thane for a moment, which you're not going to see. Well, the good news is that Gorgon has made a substantial improvement, and Thane is going to protect Gorgon further as we continue here. Alright, we've got a couple more of these guys coming in. And Phoenix does a very good job at setting up area of effect attacks and large scoping attacks, providing she doesn't get electrocuted. Alright, we've got a few more waves to undergo here. She's taken some pretty substantial damage, so we're going to want to use our extreme attack to gain some of that back. Wasn't a whole lot because I was faced the wrong direction, but that's really all we needed to progress into the next stage of the quest. Alright. So, we've got a couple more of these guys that we need to take down. Good to know that anytime you use your extreme attack as Phoenix, you do regain the buff even between some of these cutscenes for a few moments, which is good. Alright, let's go ahead and get a few of these other grunts burned out. And that gets that buddy taken care of. We're now just about finished with the other grunts. That sends him off the side. And we've got a couple of them picked up here. And there are no rifts here in Attilan that you need to be made aware of, because there would either be back that way in the infirmary or up here in the throne room. We've already been in the throne room, so we're aware that it's not here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some of our dangerous ground set up around here so we can deal the damage that's needed to Maximus here. And he ran away from my extreme attack, which is not what I wanted to see. Alright, let's see if we can get Cable in here. Not quite, but the area of effect should be decently nice. get a little TK spike in here. And he ran away from that attack as well. But with a few basic attacks here, we should be into phase 2. Now, let's see if the gravity bomb works on these drones. It doesn't appear to. Though he does have, Maximus does have similar attacks to Cable, interestingly enough. Except for Maximus's attacks are substantially bigger, as a general rule. But he's got the gravity bomb, he's got his laser pistols, his laser guns here, which is very reminiscent of what Cable has to work with. They're just souped up in a couple of ways that Cable doesn't have the luxury of. Just about got him into his final phase here. So let's go ahead and switch over to Iceman for the next little segment here.
Your time on the throne is about to expire.
And those big drones are problematic, but we've got Thane on our side to kind of help us out with those. So let's get the big chill extreme attack here. Burn down a little bit more of Maximus's overall health. He likes to single out the player with his laser beam attack there, mainly because as a general rule your teammates, if they're being controlled by computers, take a little less damage, which is kind of nice as you're not needing to rescue them as much as you otherwise would. Let's get some ice armor going on the rest of my team here. And as long as everyone gets under Thane's sphere of influence here, we really shouldn't have anything too drastic to worry about. Alright, let's see if we can get Gambit's ultimate attack to land here this time around. And Phoenix's as well. And Cable not zoned quite correctly. His is a very difficult extreme attack to place correctly, just because it's very pinpoint and very specific. And it's not like Iron Man's, where you kind of can just line it up with him and make sure that you hit at least one portion of it, which I do think it makes up for with a little bit of expanded area of effect, which is always nice, but it's not exactly foolproof as Iron Man's tends to be. It gets the job done though if you can center it properly. So that's going to just about do it for what we have to do here on Attilan. We're going to head back down to Earth, to Wakanda, to run through a couple of things and, you know, punch AIM in the face a little bit. But nothing else to report around here. There's some nice dialogue that you can do with a lot of members of the cast, but that's not our main focus here, so let's continue forward. Alright, we are on solid ground again, which means that we can continue forward. And there is a rift in this jungle, though it's a little bit deeper down, so you don't need to worry about finding it right off the bat. Alright, there we are. We've got all of these little aim grunts here taken out. And luckily, there's no turrets this early on that you need to be concerned about. If I can land one of these heavy attacks with Phoenix, we might be able to knock these guys off the ledge here. Alright, so there's a crate right there. We typically focus on grabbing those crates with our other series, but since it's here, we might as well. And just a few more of these aim guys up here around the corner. And just as Nick Fury always does, he's led us right to that rift, which you can kind of see there in the background. We'll get a better look at it here in just a moment. But yeah, it's right here as you round the corner. There's this rift that you can interact with. It's one of the last ones that you need to grab, so make sure you don't glance over it if you haven't found it already.
It's an ambush.
So, got a bunch of aim grunts popping up here. Let's go ahead and get one of our EP recoveries set up. Oh, a bunch of grenades set up there in the corner. Not good. That's the annoying thing about these aim guys, is if you get too far away from them, they will start hitting you with grenades. But at the same time, you can kind of expect them to, so it's not a huge surprise. And that takes out those guys. Nope, there's one more back here in the corner.
Take care of them for the moment. More trouble incoming. Aim's not messing around.
But at this point, we don't have to do it alone, because Storm has shown up to help. But it's a little concerning, because we are still very much down on our health, and now there's a new series of Aim Soldier that spits fire that we have to take into consideration as well. Alright, we've just about got this aim guy down, where we can burst him down a little further. Cable's grown a level, which is always good to see. And just a few more strategic attacks here. We should have the remainder of these guys taken out as well. And Phoenix's third attack fans out a little bit more than her standard ones do. And then she follows it up with a heavier, stronger strike as well. Let's go ahead and get Gambit in on some of the action here. Gambit has one of the more prolonged combos, which is really nice. And then we've just got to burn down this mighty enemy here. And there's one more of them hanging out. And that deal and card detonation will take care of it. So we should have a shield marker right here, and yep, there it is. So we're going to go ahead and pause today's episode here to allow us to catch up with our other series, as well as, you know, it's about that time. So if you're enjoying the series, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as the subscription is free and easy, and we'll be sure to catch you in the next one. Take care.